everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome to today's video. In today's video we are going to take care of our hands. My hands are extremely dry, guys, and I came up with my own personal homemade moisturizer. And many of you out there are constantly washing your hands, so if you're looking for something easy, something quick, and something very effective that is going to moisturize your hands and keep them hydrated, keep them soft and supple, follow me to the kitchen and I'll show you how to whip this up in no time.
Now before I start making the moisturizer, guys, just take a look at my hands. My hands are so dry. I have been washing my hands constantly like there's no tomorrow, and this is the result. Even look at the palm, guys, really dry. So I really need something to have them during this time, and I'm gonna make something that is easy, something that you can have with you at all times. So as soon as you wash, then you just apply this moisturizer on your hands. Now there are several different ingredients that you can use as the base. You can choose to use some shea butter, you can choose to use Vaseline, or you can even choose to use just a coconut oil. Today I'm going to be using petroleum jelly, also known as Vaseline. We're going to be doing some melting, so you're going to need a container or a double boiler to melt your petroleum jelly. You're also going to need a jar for storing your moisturizer. Make sure it have a tight cover. And you're also going to need a blender for blending. Now for our petroleum jelly, I'm going to be using 1 tablespoon. If you want to make more, just double up on the ingredient. So 1 tablespoon of petroleum jelly. And the first thing I'm going to be doing is melting the petroleum jelly. So I'm just going to take a container, use any container you have. I'm going to pour hot water in the container. Make sure the water is extremely hot. And then I'm going to place my bowl over the hot water like that. So just mix it. And you can see it start melting. Now this is going to take a few minutes, probably about 2 to 3 minutes to melt. You can also choose to melt this on a double boiler over the stove top, or you can choose to melt this in your microwave. Now once the petroleum jelly is melted, I'm going to move on to our next ingredient. And this ingredient is optional. If you do not have it, you don't have to use it. But if you have it, go ahead and use it. And this is some honey. We're not going to use a lot of honey in this. I'm going to use like about a half of a teaspoon of honey. I'm going to pour this in with our petroleum jelly while it is still very hot. So just scoop this in. Now when your petroleum jelly is melted, you're not going to remove it from over the hot water. You're going to let it stay there to keep warm. Okay? So we are dissolving the honey in the petroleum jelly. Just slowly dissolve. And next, guys, we're moving on to our next ingredient. Now moving on to our next ingredient, and here I have some oils. Today I'm going to be using 2 oils in this. I'm going to use some olive oil, and I'm also going to be using some avocado oil. You can use any 2 of your favorite oil. You can use coconut oil, almond oil, vegetable oil, whatever oil you have at hand, use. You can also choose to use just 1 of your favorite oil. So for our oil, I'm using 1 teaspoon of the olive oil, and we're pouring this in the petroleum jelly. And I'm using 1 teaspoon of the avocado oil and pouring this in the petroleum jelly also. And I'm going to use just half of a teaspoon of vegetable glycerin. This is also optional, guys. If you don't have vegetable glycerin, that's okay. You can choose to use some vitamin E oil in this to replace the vegetable glycerin. Or you can choose to use both in this. Make sure to get everything out. And remember, we are pouring all of this in the warm petroleum jelly. And now we're going to blend all of our oils together. And we're going to blend well. Make sure everything is completely dissolved. We're going to put this aside and we're going to move on to our water base. Now for our water base, we're going to pour it in the blender. Next ingredient is aloe vera gel, and I'm using the store-bought aloe vera gel. If you do not have aloe vera gel, you can use the fresh one. Please note, if you use the fresh one, the shelf life for the moisturizer is going to be less. However, if you use the store-bought one, then it's going to have a longer shelf life. Alright, so for our aloe vera gel, I'm going to be using 2 teaspoons. Pouring this in. I'm also going to be using some rose water in this. Now if you do not have rose water, you can use some lavender water. And I'm using 1 teaspoon of the rose water. Pouring this in. So here we have rose water and aloe vera gel. Now take a look at an optional ingredient. Here I have some rubbing alcohol, and this is 70%. Now I'm going to be using this in this moisturizer. Now you might be concerned if it's going to dry the skin. The amount I'm going to use is not going to dry the skin. We have enough oil in it to prevent that from happening. However, the alcohol have antibacterial properties that will help to get rid of any germs on the skin. So we don't need a lot of the alcohol. So all I'm adding to this is a 1/4 teaspoon of alcohol, just a little tot. So here I have aloe vera gel, I also have rose water, and I have a bit of alcohol. Now the final ingredient is water, and this is boiled water. Make sure to preserve the water. And when it comes on to the water, I'm using 2 teaspoons of the water, and we're pouring this in. And next, I'm going to reach back for our oils that we have been keeping warm. We're going to remove it from the hot water. And what we're going to do, we're going to slowly pour this in our container with the rest of the ingredients. So just pour it in. If you do not have alcohol, a good substitute is some tea tree oil. You can use 3 to 4 drops of the tea tree oil. Also, if you want this to have a nice fragrance, you can choose to add any of your essential oil. And we're going to blend. And take a look at this, guys. Here it is. And here we have it, guys. This is your moisturizer for your hands. Now set this aside to cool, and then you're ready to use. Because remember, we use a hot oil, hot water, so it is still very warm. I'm just gonna massage it on my hands like I'm showing here. Very, very nice, guys. Very, very nice. Not greasy at all. And you could tell that I'm using way too much. A little goes a long way. You do not need a lot. You can rub your entire hands, your knees, your elbows, wherever you have dry skin. However, this is good to use on your hands. So each time you wash your hand, you have your little and moisturizer right there with you. That is also going to help you to have your hands, you know, a little moisturized. Give this one a try. Put your own personal twist to it and be safe, okay? So there you have it. Thank you all for watching. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to share the video, leave your comments, and give the remedy a try. Use it and come back and leave another comment. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Also, guys, I have a vlog channel. The link is below. Subscribe to my vlog channel also. Bye-bye.